we are going to go deep into feedback. What is feedback? We are going to study the block diagram of an amplifier with feedback. What are the characteristics of amplifier with feedback? That and all we'll be studying in today's class. So this diagram, what you see, will summarize the block diagram of an amplifier with feedback. So actually, if only you have this signal source, amplifier and resistance, that is a normal amplifier without feedback. Only the whatever components I'm taking, if you have only those components, signal source, basic amplifier with gain of capital A and load resistance, that is amplifier without feedback. If I want to do give a feedback connection, means what should I do? I should take some portion of output and I should process that and I should add that with my input. But that is extra thing I have to do if I want to provide a feedback. So the circuit which does this work is called a sampling network. Sampling network will take some portion of the output and give it to the feedback network. The feedback network will process the signal given by the sampling network into into a particular voltage or current value that will get added with your mega input signal. That is going to be mixer network. So sampling network can sample voltage or current from the output circuit and will give it to the feedback network. It will either amplify or reduce the value of feedback signal and give it to the mixer network. Mixer will add the signal source with the current or voltage, whatever is coming out of feedback network. So whenever I'm going to add these additional components, mixer network, sampling network and feedback network, it is going to be an amplifier with feedback. So an amplifier having no feedback and an amplifier having feedback, the characteristics are going to be completely different. Please understand that these three blocks are the differentiating factors. So I'll just put an into marks to show the difference. So the three blocks which has into marks, those are the blocks which will be present for an amplifier with feedback. And if you remove these blocks, it will be a normal amplifier without feedback. If you provide a signal, it is amplified and it is available across the load resistance RL. But if you take that portion of a signal from output, you convert it into you manipulate the signal using a feedback network and give it back to the input signal, you mix it, that becomes a feedback amplifier. Okay, the block diagram for feedback amplifier is shown here. As you see, the output quantity, it can be either voltage or current, is sampled by a suitable sampler. So output, this sampling network will sample means taking the portion of the voltage or current from the output side. So the sampling can be voltage or current. So depending on that, you will have two sampling type of circuits. One is voltage sampler, other one is current sampler. Okay, please understand, sampling network will pick a proportionate value of voltage or current from the output of the amplifier and give it to the feedback network. If it takes out voltage, it is called as voltage sampling. If it picks current, it is called as current sampling. So the main function of sampling network is to take a portion of the output signal, which may be voltage or current, and give it as input to the feedback network. So that is the main functionality of the